folks, Keith Belt, the Dirty Salford Rep. I want to talk to you real quick about something I'm working on right quick. That's a couple of quicks there all together, and that's funny. I'm very rarely quick, and for some reason I'm laying down quick a lot today for some reason. So what I'm trying to do here fast while I'm working on this Halo AerWay, putting it together here at Bless Brothers, brand new, just got on the lot, and something that's near and dear to my heart. I've been around farming my whole life, and farming's going through a lot of changes, and America is going through a lot of changes too. Urban sprawl is everywhere, and farmers are still trying to farm, and a lot of those areas that, they're getting congested. And what I want to talk about is farming safety and traffic. And, we're in the heat of battle here. If it ain't spring, it's summer, and if it ain't summer, it's fall, and farmers are busy all times of the year anymore. And so you're going to encounter farm equipment running up and down the road. Like I said, spring, summer, fall, winter, all times of the year, all the seasons, everybody's busy. And we all got to get from point A to point B, just like, you do and I do. And when you see flashing lights, big ag equipment coming up and down the road, don't be afraid. Just slow down and try to pull over. Let those guys get by. They're just trying to get up and down the highway, just like, you and I. Try to always be aware. Sometimes they may not have the lights on them. You're dealing with farmers that, they may have equipment that's several years old. But what I guarantee you is they do have them on them, and most of them are trying to, operate the lights and as they should. And I guarantee that most of them have got what it's called an SMV. So whether you're a dealer or a regular Joe or Jane going from point A to point B, watch out for this little doodad here. This is what you see. Lights are supposed to reflect on it. It's called an SMV, and that stands for slow moving vehicle. And like I said, all these units, whether it's ag, Salford or John Deere, or Case IH, or whoever it may be, all of them's got one of these things on here. And if you're a dealer or a dealer employee out there and you're prepping a machine and getting it ready to go to the field and playing the dirt like I love to do every day, don't forget, always make sure that one of the first things you do is that SMV is properly displayed, because there's a lot of people out there on the road. Now, when you put, X, Y, Z and all points on the compass, you're trying to get to work, trying to get to school, and, whatever it may be. And they may not know that a tractor, is coming down the road, and they're all, because I guarantee you, when you see this big orange triangle surrounded by red reflective strips, it's going to get your attention. And when you see that, they're going to slow down and give you a little bit of relief. And Mr. Farmer, when you're out there running that tool every now and again, take a look at that SMV and make sure it's good and safe, nice and bright. Make sure the dirt's off of it. As much as we love dirt, I am Keith Belt, the Dirty Salford Rep. I think dirt's my friend. But make sure that dirt's cleaned off of that SMV so that Joe Schmo and Jane Schmo, and they can see that little Bobby Schmo and little Sue Ann Schmo, all of them can see that the SMV and know that, they need to slow down. When you're trying to get that wonderful Salford tool from one field to the next, removing that hay wagon or hay baler or, whatever it may be, just make sure your SMV is properly displayed, nice and clean, good operating condition. It's where people can see, because if you can't be seen, you're hard to see. And if you can see, ain't nobody going to want to hit you. They for sure don't want to hit no Salford equipment, because that's just stuff that's just too strong. It don't bend, don't break, and you just don't want to hit it, and you don't want to get hit. No Salford tools. So get that SMV out. Make sure it's clean. Make sure it's displayed right. Make sure your safety lights are all working right. And hey, get that stuff all good and ready to go, because when it's time to go, we're ready to go. I'm ready to go. We'll grab your Salford tool and we'll go play in the dirt somewhere. Hey, it's Keith Belt, the Dirty Salford Rep. Have a great day. That's my little public service announcement. Let's keep America safe, whether it's farmers or whether it's Joe Schmo, Jane Schmo, Mo, Bobby Schmoes, and whoever's driving it down the highway. Everybody's got to try to be safe. Be good, be safe, and always remember, God made dirt, dirt don't hurt. See you folks next time.